Because when I found this truth, guess what happened? I put my birthday away. When I found this truth, I put the drugs away. When I found this truth, I quit whoring my sisters. When I found this truth, I started becoming a better man and a better person. Because now I know I'm on that narrow path. Now I know I'm on a righteous path. Now I know what I'm doing is going to get me somewhere.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my lives. Yes, you said. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right. One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Cracking the sky, nuclear missiles are making it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the brutal show. We could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found. The time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood cell. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cocktail. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. There was designed fire for our babies to pass through it. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I got you. Let it vibe real quick. Look. The city eyes, it's time to vote God. My God, a real nigga, cause he wasn't no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure, got that shotty in the closet by the mob ball. Fuck what they heard, but tell them it's all true. Be cautious, that foundation falls till you fall through. They gon' fall. Look, I keep this shit 50 times 2. Ain't no more heart in this game, I'm John Q. Colder than the avalanche, way above average. Vince taste sweet, told him make me an apple tree. Left us in the valley full of bones, this where hope found. Shower, come on, man. Dark sands get broke down. Riding through Evanston with Mark Quad. Telling me how the crackers turn this shower into a ghost town. Focus out, nigga, I lay that game down. I feel his pain, cause nothing is the same now. Never light shine like heaven through a rain cloud. Glock have a fit like my child, no tangent. Try to warn them niggas, we bear arms like tarantulas. Them mother niggas rap, I make anthems. I really seen prophets under this banner. Make my enemies bow down on camera. Told my design I wanted black and white like a panda. I'm better than that nigga that sunk dirty to handle. Look, I move like a Brazilian, precious cargo, spirit Asian, but I got a new semi-auto. Wave that bitch around like where's Wardo. Sleep if they want, I cut through they Z's like I'm Zorro. Pay me for his name, so I gotta keep that steel clutch. Trust me, I'm not what you think. I squeeze till it click like Dorothy when the heels touch. The world got me dumb, I don't feel much. Ride around with Yaradar, just left the state bridge. Looking for a bitch better than Baby's kid. Remember I dropped Quiet Storm, I've been gone ever since. Still in the field, fuck them niggas on the fence, yeah. Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rebel, busy man shit, nigga. They take their head off, nigga. I read what Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert. Another cop can stretch the nigga. He ain't demon, it's an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gonna get active with you. From the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spit and I ain't listening. Is it effective? If revenge was a woman, now I scope that bitch like Jake. So I war, we gon' run the summer. It's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, need cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't just do that. Bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real trigger know them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? When he saying something, I ain't hear him. This shit like it ain't about who got the gun, it's about who gon' up that fight first. I turn a bad situation to a game change. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. Spin shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never fight the hand that feeds you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitchin' about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified rubber's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow sign, yeah, this the rim accord. Feel like Gullah Jake when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my bread, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
Hey, Shalom Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. I'm Priest and Officer Tapazar. This is the Isupk Brotherhood class. Let's clap it up. I'm saying, so we covering Killeen, Temple, Belton, I'm saying Coryell County, Gatesville, Coppers Cove, I'm saying Waco, all of that. You understand? And this is the Brotherhood class. Brotherhood is the foundation of everything that we do. You understand? It's Brotherhood is the spirit of Christ. You understand? It's the glue for Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, man. It's the foundation on which we build this nation. You understand? That's why it's so important. You know, right now with the tribulations and the struggles that we dealing with as a nation, as a people, we looking for different solutions. We looking for different answers. And, you know, what they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing repeatedly, expecting a different result. We didn't try everything. We didn't try politics. We didn't try, you know what I'm saying, economics. You know what I'm saying? We didn't try entertainment, sports, you know, all different ways to try to get out of this hell that we in, when the truth of the matter is the only thing that's going to solve the issues for so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians is brotherhood. You understand? But before I get into that topic, because I'm really dealing with the Lord's brotherhood, you know what I'm saying, and that, you know, the Most High choosing us as a nation, you know what I mean, as a people, was brotherhood. You know what I mean? He could have chose anybody, but he chose us. You understand? And the only thing he asked for us is to be loyal to him and to be loyal to each other, to prefer one another. You understand? And that's what Christ died for. You understand? He died to show us how to love each other again. You understand? In the midst of those that hate us. All right. But before I get into any of that, we're gonna go ahead and get into some questions. If there's any questions online or questions in the room, go ahead, priest.
Oh, Con, so I got a question, and this is pertaining to Deuteronomy and the curses. So the question is are certain, you know how certain families have like, you know, are certain curses designed for like a specific family, or the curses just in general? So like,
Can you kind of explain that? What you mean a specific family?
Like you might have some families that struggle with you know, alcoholism running my family because it is, or mental health running my family, or diabetes, or, you know, these type of things running my family. So everybody's family's dynamic is different.
Right.
So like,
I would say it's across the board. Let's go to that though. Because really first give me Amos 3:1. Then we can tap into what you was talking about, because that's an excellent question too, because we don't realize the things that we're like, you know, first of all, I know if you a so-called Black, Latino, Native Indian, the way we get talked about in this hell called America is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like we made to be like the villain, like, you know, and then the things that we suffer, like not being number one in diabetes, number one in like high blood pressure, number one in like mental health issues, like, you know, from a medical standpoint, a psychological standpoint, like it's like we cursed, right? That's how I would feel, but we are, you understand? And when you think about that word curse, what you really need to translate that word into is punishment. You understand? These are punishments because we haven't respected what was given to us. You understand? Like, I know it seemed like we on the bottom, and you know, and we you know, a lot of times, man, we'll look on the outside of us for like for the cause of the problem. And the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? We say that to our oppressor's face, you know, every day, right? But that's true. But the solution to these issues starts with us, though. The white man is the devil, but you know, his end and his destruction is already written. You know what I'm saying? Like his judgment is already sealed. It's a done deal. But what's hanging in the balance, what the Most High, Christ, and the angels, are looking at is us. You know what I'm saying? He you know, like the scriptures say, what the Lord has made crooked, who can make straight? He is what he is. But what the Most High is watching is us. You know what I'm saying? Our you know, we've been, you know, Christ told our people, he said, you are of your father the devil, and his lust you will fulfill. Yeah, the white man is dealing with white supremacy. He's dealing with racism. You understand? Like, it's, you know, he's you know, all these lynchings that have been happening in the last year of our sisters and brothers being found lynched, and, you know, or with Nolan Wells or with Carmelo Anthony. All these things are going on. Sandra Bland, what was a sister who was in her house and the police officer knocked her in the head?
Sonia Massey.
Sonia Massey. Sonia Massey. You know what I'm saying? All the way back to Tamir Rice. You know what I'm saying? All these things are happening, but we still smoking weed though. We still smoking Black and Miles. We still selling drugs to each other. You understand? We still violating like God's laws. And we can't, what I'm trying to explain to our people is, to all of us is that we can't address those issues without fixing the issues that we have first. Now, I don't mean like how the devil say, you know, y'all got black on black crime. I don't mean like that. What I mean is that we have a power. The Most High, that word God in the Hebrew means Elohim or Allah. It means power. We have a Most High power that we have to answer to. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't live our lives how we want to live them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, you know, we born into this hell and we trying to figure out ways to get out of it. But you can't get out of what the Most High put you in. You understand? Like, the only solution for us to get out of this condition is by coming back to our power, coming back to serve our God. You understand? But give me that Amos 3:1.
Colonel Wakan, sir. This is the book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
Right. So the Lord is, the prophet Amos is, he's speaking to our people and he's saying, hear this word that the Lord is speaking to you. This is what the Lord is saying to us as a people, as a nation. Go ahead.
Against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt.
Against the what?
Against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Egypt.
Now, the priest asked about, are certain curses applied to certain families? And I'm assuming you meant tribes, right? Well, the Lord look at us as an entire family. It's a whole family. The whole family, what? That came up out of Egypt. You know, what we going through right now here in America is what we went through when we was under them Africans in Egypt. You understand? You know, all skin folk and kinfolk. Just because a person that got melanin don't mean that they are family. Really, the whole planet is melanated. It's just the oppressor, you know what I mean? The devil, the Lord separated him as the devil in the earth that lacked melanin. But the whole earth is melanated. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean that we all family together. He said the whole family that I what?
That I brought up from the land of Egypt.
From the land of the house of bondage, from where we was in slavery. The Lord freed us from slavery from under the hand of the Egyptians, those Hamites, man, and brought us out into the wilderness to become a nation. It said we marched out of Egypt as an army. He organized us as an army. Why? Because we had a slave mentality, because we were slaves. And he had to organize us as a people to function as a nation, as a righteous nation. Keep reading.
Colonel Wakan, saying, you only have I known.
Say it again. Read that again.
You only have I known.
So the Lord brought this family up out of Egypt, out of slavery, the house of bondage, as a family, brought us out as an army. But he said, you only have I known, meaning the Lord, you know, the Lord don't know nobody else. He don't know that when he say no, he mean like, he don't F with nobody else like that. You know what I'm saying? Like to us, we're his family. That's who he rock with. He don't rock with nobody else. He don't rock with the so-called Caucasian man like that. He don't rock with the Asian man. He don't rock with the East Indian. He don't rock with the Arabs. You dig? He don't rock with any of these other races. His family, who he consider family, is so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, man. You understand? Like, he knows us. Meaning what? He showed himself to us. He gave us his laws, statutes, and commandments. Keep reading.
Colonel Concern. You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
Of all the families of the earth. So when the priest asked about is it for particular families, the Lord considers the so-called Caucasians a family. He considers the so-called Hamites a family. The so-called Polynesians, the Guamanians, like the Pacific Islanders, they're a family. The Arabs, they're a family. You know what I'm saying? But out of all the families of the earth, he's only known us. And you got to know that. Why is that important? Why is that important to know that? Because when you feel like, damn, why is this always happening to our people? Why are we getting stepped on? He about to tell you. Read.
Colonel Wakan. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
I will do what?
I will punish you for all your iniquities.
When you think about that word curses, the things that afflict our people and what we go, black sisters and brothers are dying in ways that should be construed as homicides. She's writing them off as, there was no issue in their death. This was a suicide, or, there was no foul play. That's how they did things. You know what I'm saying? You go to court and you're being charged with something. Salaki, 1 second. Salakia, like, you go to court, you get charged, it's going to be an all-white jury. You already know the outcome. Like what you saw with Carmelo Anthony. Now, they saying it wasn't all white, but it was already factored in because the judge knew the prosecutor knew the defense attorney, and they all was having like parties at their house taking pictures together. You know what I mean? That automatically should be with the victim's father, Austin Metcalf. Right? All these things, conflicts of interest and recusing yourself from presiding over a case because of conflicts of interest, they're not abiding by their own laws. They're applying their laws to us, you know what I'm saying, and giving us football numbers and putting us in prison with football numbers. But when their own people are committing these same crimes or even doing worse, what do they say? We don't want to ruin this young man's future. He just made a simple mistake. But then, you got a 13-year-old getting tried as an adult. Y'all know what it is. But see, the Lord is saying because we're his family, he's punishing us for our iniquities, for our immorality. Give me Deuteronomy 28, verse 1 real quick. I was talking to a brother today, and you know what I'm saying, he's seeing the things that we're dealing with, you know what I'm saying, in Texas and America. And like any black man with any type of heart or the spirit of the Lord, he wanna battle it. He wanna fight it. And, I had to tell the brother, I said, blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, we're the only nation, the only people where our success is not determined by how much military power that we have, how much economic power that we have, how much political power that we have. Our success as a nation, as a people, in competition with these other races is strictly based on our morality. That's how the Lord deal with us. He don't care about whether we have a large army or not, if we have political power with these other nations or not, if we have financial wealth. Everybody's talking about generational wealth and changing our families to generational wealth. The Lord don't care about that. What he care about is are you keeping his standard of morality? Go ahead and read that.
Colonel Wakan, sir. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Right. If you listen to the voice of the prophets, the voice of the Lord is the prophets in the earth. The Lord doesn't do anything unless he reveal it to his servants, the prophets. To hearken to the voice of the Lord is to hearken to the men of the Lord that are speaking what the Lord said for us to do as a people. The Lord cares about what you eat. The Lord cares about who you have sex with. The Lord cares about how you deal with your brother. You understand? He governs every aspect of our lives. And if you disregard any aspect of that, then you're putting yourself in a position to be punished. Keep reading.
Colonel Wakan. To observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day.
Right. Moses gave, the Lord gave his laws and his commandments, his morality to us. He didn't give it to any other race. You know, you see white people using the Bible now, when you see these other nations taking on the Bible and talking about God and belief and faith in Christ and all that. But the Lord don't care about them. He hasn't known them. You understand? He's known us. That's why we get punished. That's why it seems like we're getting the short end of the stick, because he chose us to be above everybody. But when we disregard his morality, then, you know, we don't have no protection. We don't have no safety. We don't have a place of refuge. We out here just lacking. You know what I'm saying? We getting caught lacking because the Lord ain't with us. Keep reading.
That the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all the nations of the earth.
Right. The Lord is saying that your morality with him is what will set you above every race. See, the Most High is a racist. He has a preference. Read that last part again.
Sir. That the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
See, the Lord had a vision. He was talking about manifestation and having a vision and all that, right? The Lord had a vision. He had a plan. He wanted blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians to be the rulers of the earth. For us to be on top of everybody else. But where are we at currently? On the bottom. That ain't what the Lord wanted. See, when Christ did the Lord's Prayer, y'all learn that, right? In church, right? Sunday school, Wednesday Bible study, right? Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. The kingdom that was supposed to be on the earth was blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians in rulership under our King Christ. Really, it was under Adam. The Lord chose Adam. He showed brotherhood to Adam. He chose Adam out of everybody and said, I'm going to use you and your family to rule the planet. And you know what we did? We looked at what everybody else was doing, and we said we want to be like them. When the Lord made us special. Give me that Deuteronomy 7:6. That's the problem. You know, we looked at the East Indian, at the Africans, at the Arabs, and said, "Oh, look at they drip. Let's be like them." That's what it is when you try to become a Muslim. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, you want to serve the Muslim God, which is the God of the Arabs, right? You want to serve a rock called Allah, dumb rock. But when you become a Muslim, you know, you make yourself a third-class citizen, second-class citizen to the Arabs, because that's their God. Now, because you serve their God, now you're subjected to them. When you choose Christianity, right, their God is Cesare Borgia. It's a white man who was a pedophile and committed incest and was a murderer. But when you serve their God, now who's the people that's in front of you to serve that God? The so-called white man. When you want to be a Hinduist, who, you know, they worship Shiva, right? And however many other gods that they have. When you want to serve that God, who's in front of that God? The East Indians. Now you got to dress like them and study their manuscripts. When the Lord already gave you his law. He gave you the creator of heaven and earth, the true and living God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He gave you your own culture. You don't have to be a second-class citizen and have another race go before you to serve your power. But that's what we did. The Lord gave us him. And we looked at everybody else and said, okay, how do they worship? What gods do they serve? See, right now, black people feel like because they turn from Christianity, which any other religion is Christianity in at its core, we feel like we're being like, woke or, awaken our third eye and activating our chakras because we're learning all these other different spiritual, methods and whatnot. When really all you're doing is offending God. It don't take all that. It just take us to love one another, to stop hating each other, to stop abusing each other, and to have, to be an example. I mean, right now in the earth, you got Donald Trump in a video with Jeffrey Epstein, and he's the president of the United States, and him and Peter Hegseth and J.D. Vance are setting policies for America, and they haven't even gone after the people that was involved in the Epstein files. This is the standard of morality. When it talks about how, what's that in Isaiah 14? Oh, Lucifer, how, a son of the morning, how art thou fallen from heaven? We're watching them fall. Why? Because they have no morality. when you read about Lucifer, that's not talking about an angel of God. That's talking about the so-called white man who everybody looks up to, the son of the morning. Every time you get up out of bed and the sun rises, that's what gives light to the world. That's what you look up to. You can't get no work done, handle no business without that sun being up there for 12 hours a day. And then it gives what? The Lord gave the moon for a light for the night. When you see how it says the sun turned black as sackcloth and the moon turned to blood, what it's talking about is that the thing that you look to for wisdom and guidance is now dark. You can't look to the white man for nothing. It says that in Lamentations, that we look to a nation that cannot save us. Our eyes have failed. We're looking up to something that's nothing to look up to. Listen, P. Diddy's a prime example. He took on the playbook of the Epstein files and Harvey Weinstein and all this sexual deviancy. But what's the difference? What's the difference between him and Harvey Weinstein and the rest of these pedophiles? He's sitting in jail. He got punished. They're not looking up all these politicians in the Epstein files. Wow, what do they say? If we drain the swamp and we hold everybody accountable that was involved with Jeffrey Epstein, the entire government structure will fall apart. They rather keep the building as it is than have the whole house of cards collapse. That's what you're dealing with. So what is the Most High doing? He's raising up brothers that see the wickedness of this world, and he's trying to create a new regime, a new set of leaders that can show God's glory in the earth. What's God's glory in the earth? A people in a nation that live by his laws, and the Lord lift them up and put them into power to show the world and the earth what it means to be a righteous nation. What is that? Give me that. Is that Deuteronomy 6:4 or 4:6? Give me that. This was your inheritance, your purpose, your destiny as a nation of kings and priests. Read that out.
So this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 6. Keep therefore and do them.
Do what? What's the verse above it?
Verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord thy God, the Lord my God commanded me.
You can't rule a people and rule the earth without having statutes, laws, and judgments. A way to judge the people, to judge between that which is right and wrong, evil and good. King Solomon was called the wisest king on the earth. Why? Because the Lord gave him the spirit of wisdom and judgment, discernment, how to judge between people, how to judge between nations, man. You can't be in charge and you ain't got no judgment. You ain't got no morality. I mean, shit, it might as well just be anarchy.
Right.
The law of the jungle, every man for himself.
Right.
If you have strength and power, then you can rule over the weak and hurt the weak. We've been living under that. In slavery for 400 years, free labor, get released. Now we building cities and building towns. They come through and massacre our towns and cities. No reparations, no justice, no reimbursement. We're living under a devil. But then you want the devil to get put out, to get put out of his seat. But then you didn't learn his ways too. See, the Lord wants us to be perfect, man. He don't want Congabar. The Lord wants us to be perfect. He don't want to set up another regime of devils. That's why Christ said you are of your father, the devil. Because why? We've been living under a devil and we've become demons. How did that get into our culture? First, we was calling ourselves gods in the 80s. We the gods. Now in 2026, we on demon time. We gremlins, we goblins. That's showing you who we learning from. Is any more on that?
Sir. That you should do so in the land whither you
Shalom,
go to
sis.
possess it.
Salaki, please go ahead.
Sir. Even as the Lord my God commanded me, that you should do so in the land whither you go to possess it.
Right. It don't matter. People talking about getting all this land now, right? I want to get off grid. I want to get some land, grow some chickens, and get some cattle and livestock. if you ain't got no morality and you know, I mean, what happened with Nature Boy? Nature Boy went out to Mexico, got some land, living off the land, you know, taking copping squats in the land, talking about the feces, fertilize the ground and all that. What ended up happening? He ended up sexually abusing and being a sexual deviant with the people that went there and gave him money and followed him. He was having relations with the men and the women. Why? Because he lacked morality. Getting land doesn't give you power. Yeah, is the land important? Yes, it's important, but it's only important if you keep in all the law, keeping all of God's morals, man. You listen. We as a people, we got to stop trying to figure out ways outside of what God said to get on top. It's not gonna happen. I don't care that Magic Johnson is a billionaire, that Jay-Z's a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? Look, Drake out here doing the stream and the kick stuff now, giving Birkin bags away to ladies and stuff and trying to empower women. Empower them to be what? Hoes? He don't even know what to do with the money. Commander General Yohana, he want to, you know, make people's lives better. Listen, man, Drake is a nigga. Kendrick is a nigga. But Kendrick had a point. He had a point. And I ain't saying Kendrick is any better, but he had a point. You got all these millions and you want to gamble the money away. Give it to Commander General Yohana. He knows exactly what to do with that money. He knows exactly who to help. I can't be a Drake fan. I really can't be a fan of anybody right now unless you're paying homage to Commander General Yohana. I really can't be a fan of you. Don't. The only artist that I'm a fan of is in the UPK, because I know goddamn well they paying tithes. You out here making all this money, making this music, but then it's for you to do what with it? Make it ran the strip club. These sisters in these strip clubs, they only ambition and hope is to get money to pay for college to change their lives. When now you didn't win and did OnlyFans, you know, how could your kids ever be proud of you? Well, you know, and the sister had, well, mommy did what she had to do to, to give you a better life. But what you're gonna end up finding out is that your reputation as a woman is gonna impact your son's psychology more than you buying him Jordans and buying him a Hellcat when he turned 18. You know what your son wants? He wants to be able to go to school and not get jonesed on about, I seen your mama's box on OnlyFans. Your mama fine as hell. I seen her getting railed on, getting pounded out, going to Pound Town. He want to be able to go to school and know that nobody's seen his mama on the internet. Imagine 50 Cent's son. He married he married a heathen, had a baby with a heathen, but now as a son, his mama is online getting knocked down by another man who's watching with another man watching. It's some type of weird ass, bro. Like, we destroyed as a people. That's what I'm saying. Like, we think the solutions is being able to purchase a home and have land and have money, and be eating good, driving good. That's not life. When the Lord says, I set before you life and death, he ain't talking about you living your best life. We selfish. And what's even heavier is that the crazy part is that we come back. You being a hoe to get your money, and you have these kids, you're going to be born back into the world that you created, into the house that you built. You're going to regenerate and come back. You raise your kids with, thinking that it's okay to dress like a prostitute and get, if you're going to get with a man, he has to, be a six-figure man. And you end up never having a man, tatted up, getting ran through by 100 brothers and thrown away. Then you have sons and daughters, and they learn from you. What's their format? What's their point of reference for how to live life and how to raise children? Then they have kids. And then them kids have kids, and then you come back into a cesspool of what? Immorality, of iniquity. We get punished with our own actions. He said you gonna eat the fruit of your own way. Your own works are gonna punish you. And I ask you, PK, we're cleaning ourselves up, man. We're cleaning ourselves up, and we're cleaning anybody that wants to become clean in here. That's the solution. But let me go ahead and answer these questions, man. I done kind of went. Sis, you have any questions? Okay, no sweat. Anything online?
Colonel Wakan, sir.
All right.
Salakia. Okay. Khan, sir. Sister says, Salakia, sir, if I may. I've been reading Matthew and I have a few questions, Baba Kashah. The first question I have, Baba Kashah, why was John hesitant to baptize Christ? And this is John 3:14 and 15.
Okay. Go ahead and get that for me.
Matthew, Salakia.
Okay, no sweat. 1 second. Read it one more time, all right? Salakia.
The question? Colonel Wakan, sir. Salakia, if I may, why was John hesitant to baptize Christ in Matthew chapter 3, verse 14 and 15?
Okay, let's go ahead and read it.
Colonel Wakan, sir. This is the book of Matthew chapter 3 and I start at verse 13. Then cometh Jesus from Galilee to Jordan unto John to be baptized of him. Verse 14. But John forbade him, saying, I have need to be baptized of thee, and comest thou to me? Verse 15. And Jesus answering said unto him, suffer it to be so now, for thus it becometh us to fulfill all righteousness. Then he suffered him.
Okay, I don't know if it's in this chapter, but I need you to go up to where John is prophesying about Christ. And this will explain why he said what he said. I ain't gonna lie, John was a trip though. He said all that and never followed him.
Right.
That's why I say, man, shout out to my camp leader, Isupk Brotherhood, man. You know what I'm saying? Rise again.
Right.
He always would say a pair of lips could say anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why you gotta read the Bible like a nigga. You can't read the Bible like literally like a white person, because you read that, it's like John was so humble. You know what I mean? Like, he just was humble and everything, but people just be saying stuff.
You looking for when John prophesied about
when he
Christ?
said like, behold, I'm not even worthy to tie his shoes, all that stuff. Let me look it up.
Okay, I think.
Let me see. How he said, I baptize with water, but he gonna baptize with fire. You know what I'm talking about? Let me see. Y'all bear with your brother, the water. Give me
John?
No, Matthew 3:11.
Okay, it's like Colonel Wakan, sir, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 3 and verse 11.
This is why John said what he said. This is before Christ gets baptized, right?
Colonel Wakan, sir.
Yeah, go ahead and read that.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 3 and verse 11. I indeed baptize you with water unto repentance.
Right. So even to this day, what John did is still impacting, the religion called Christianity to this day. People are following John, they're not following Christ. You know what I'm saying? People teach that you have to get baptized with water. And John is saying it's called John's baptism. John is saying, I baptize you with water unto repentance, right? It was an act to say that it was a physical act to get immersed in water to come out and say that you're going to change your ways and get clean. All right? Go ahead.
Colonel Wakan. But he that cometh after me is mightier than I.
Right. So read it again. He's what?
He that cometh after me is mightier than I.
John is saying what I'm doing is I'm baptizing with water, but the brother coming after me, he's mightier than I am. Right? Keep reading.
Whose shoes I am not worthy to bear.
You know how like when it says like you couldn't fill my shoes, you couldn't walk in this man's shoes, meaning that like you're not on his level. He said I'm not on his level. I'm not even worthy to bear his shoes. I can't walk in his shoes. Right? Keep reading.
He shall baptize you with the Holy Spirit and with fire.
Now, people always talk about baptism, right? That you got to get baptized with water. John is saying that Christ's baptism is not with water; it's with the Holy Spirit and with fire. Who getting gasoline poured on them and lit on fire? Who getting baptized with the fire? If the baptism of water is literal, how come the baptism of fire ain't literal? And it's in context. But to answer your question, this is why John said, why are you coming to me to get baptized? I need to get baptized from you. Why? Because the baptism of Christ is greater than the baptism of John. You understand? That's why. Is there any more on that?
She wanted, Colonel Wakan. So you want me to go to the
You keep reading.
Colonel Wakan, sir, whose fan is in his hand, he will thoroughly purge his floor and gather his wheat into the garner, but he will burn up the chaff with the unquenchable fire.
Y'all know what that means? What Christ's talking about right there? The hunger bar, you know what that means? What Christ's saying? Or what John is saying? About why Christ outranks him. This right here. Read again.
Colonel Wakan.
IBR.
Whose fan is in his hand, and he will thoroughly purge his floor.
Okay, whose fan is in his hand? What he's talking about is a garning floor, right? He's talking about where wheat is separated from chaff. Okay, so like you got to think about a farmer, right? He has a building where the wheat gets brought in, but there's chaff along with it. Chaff looks like wheat, but it ain't wheat. You understand? So when you go out there and you gather up all the wheat, he's talking about gathering up all the people and bringing them in. And now you got to separate the real from the fake.
Right.
But what he's really talking about is the people that are in charge, the rulership. It's what we're doing right now as prophets of God in the earth right now. We're showing the people that the Christian church does this, and this does not line up with the Bible. You understand? It's separate. It's giving the people the ability to make a clear choice, right? Meaning that I'm gonna separate the people that really want to serve God and make that sacrifice and put them over here on my right hand side, and then put the chaff on this side, and they don't get burned with fire. What's the fire? It's the judgment. We listen. We be setting people on fire out there at camp. We spitting fire, and it's burning them alive spiritually. But this is also a physical thing as well, because when Christ comes, it's all getting burnt down. But what's happening right now is we're setting them on fire with the spirit of his mouth, meaning that the truth hurts, it burns. When you've been living a certain way and living your life a certain way, and somebody come and say you smoking weed, you hate God, you against God, and they like, I don't hate God, I'm just smoking a little weed. No, hey, smoking weed is like being living an alternative lifestyle, being LGBTQ. What? Man, I'm just smoking a little weed. What's wrong with that? We burning them with the truth that God ain't tolerating that. That you can't go and be with a white woman. If you are a so-called Black, Native American, or Hispanic person, you can't be with the Chinese person. But hold on, man. I mean, but what's wrong with that? Love is love. It's setting them on fire. It's burning them. And what John is saying is that John is prophesying against the Pharisees and King Herod and all that. But Christ is going to purge the floor, meaning that it ain't going to be no more confusion. The people that are in charge right now, y'all going to lose your seats. And I'm putting the righteous on those seats, and it's going to be, the kingdom of God is going to be clear. It's heavy to me that the Pharisees asked Christ, where is the kingdom of God and where shall it appear? Y'all sitting in Moses' seat. You don't know where it's going to be at? Christ like, Nicodemus, you asking me about this? Ain't you a leader of Israel? And you asking me how this work? Brother, we in trouble. We in trouble. Right now, for y'all who believe in politics, who can you go to? Who's a sister out here in Texas that was doing her little thing?
Jasmine Crockett.
Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett is the hope of our people. And no, I ain't disrespecting Jasmine, but she do kind of mess with the LGBTQ community though. What this black woman, like what's it, Maxine Waters? That's the hope of our people. Where are the men at? The Lord said he chose men. Bro, give me that in Ezekiel 34. The Lord ain't choose no women to be running nothing. Then our politics our politics now are reflecting our households. Ain't no black men in the house, and ain't no black men leading our people. We looking to women now to lead us. When we wasn't, the woman wasn't created. We wasn't created for the woman. The woman was created for us. She need our guidance and our help, and we asking her, what do we do? Are we trying to back her up? How that look? A brother coming to assault your family, and you tell the woman you go deal with him. You deal with the matter. He's trying to break in the house and take everything, and you say, "Hey, baby girl, go ahead and handle that. I'm gonna watch the kids." No, you got that? Ezekiel 34. I think it's like the second to last verse.
Colonel Wakan, sir.
Yeah, verse 30 is fine. 30 and 31.
Colonel Wakan, this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 30 and verse 30, 34 and verse 30. Thus shall they know that I, the Lord their God, am with them.
What the Lord is saying is that you're going to know that I'm with you because of the protection that you have. Now you're protected. Now you're not being punished no more. Now you're going to know that I'm with you because anything that come up against you is going to collapse and fall. Go ahead.
Colonel Wakan. And that they, even the house of Israel, are my people.
Read that again.
And that they, even the house of Israel, are my people.
Not the Chinese, not the Caucasian, not the African, not the Arab, not the Hawaiians. He said, even they, the house of Israel, are my people. God only has one people. And it's who? The house of who?
The house of Israel.
The Israel. Israel is God's people. That's it. Keep reading.
Colonel Wakan. Saith the Lord God.
We not saying this because we want to say it. The Lord said it. That's what a prophet of God does. He don't say his own words. I'm not speaking my own words. I'm only speaking the same thing Ezekiel spoke. Is Ezekiel lying? Keep reading.
Colonel Wakan, verse 31. And ye my flock, the flock of my pasture, are men.
Right. The flock of the Lord's pasture, his sheep, they are men. Men. Yes, the daughters of Zion are the Lord's people as well. But who the Lord deal with is men. He deal with us. Keep reading.
And I am your God, said the Lord God.
Right. Give me 1 Corinthians 11 and 3. Just to let y'all know the order of the Lord. This ain't sexism. This ain't, I mean, I guess it is patriarchy.
Right.
But patriarchy is of the Lord. Okay. Just like polygyny is of the Lord. Okay. You know, shout out to Officer Gadawan with that shirt and all bold block letters. I need more wives. You understand? We here to break the chains. We here to shatter to shatter the Truman Show. You know, this simulation that we're living in a white man's simulation. We're living in a white man's imagination. America and everything you see, this society, this age that we're living in, you know, Trump's America. This is his imagination. The kingdom of God is what the Lord envisioned. That's what we fighting for. We're the harbingers and the ambassadors of that world, of that kingdom, of that vision. So we here saying it. A man can have more than one wife. It's not cheating. I don't just have to be with you. You know, everybody got a choice. There's some sisters that didn't have no husband. They just served in the Lord's house. If you can't deal with it, you ain't got to deal with it. But let me tell you something. When you regenerate the kingdom, you're going to have to deal with it. And you know what? You're going to love it too. Because you're going to be raised in that culture. You're going to be like, you're going to look at it as an honor to go and vie for a righteous man in power to be one of his wives, to be for your name to be under his name. You're going to be like, oh my God, it's going to be your only goal in life. Like right now, your only goal in life is that Birkin and to be called a bad bitch. In the kingdom, you're going to be vying to be, you know, under the name of a righteous man, a righteous priest. Now, some of our sisters in this timeline, in this life, they understand what that is. And that's why they in the UPK. They get it. But if it's too much for you, that's fine. Just come into the school and serve the Lord. You got to have no husband. You know? And if you think you're lonely now, wait until tonight, girl. You're just going to watch all these righteous men walking around with, you know, boots, braids, and beards and be like, I can't deal with it. It's too much. Okay. You just be our sister. and we're gonna treat you with all brotherhood and purity. You understand? But you ain't gonna be able to escape it. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, go ahead, read that.
Colonel Wakanda, it's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man,
right?
And the head of Christ is God.
Right. It really, shout out to Officer Gadiwan, you know what I'm saying? And, Captain Desire, they're going to be battling God Logic, I think September 19th out there in California, man. This really just cut the whole Christ is God situation right here. But, the one thing about Christians is that they love to lie. And with lies, you can make up anything. You can say anything, make up anything. But this lets you know right here, this is the order and the power structure that the Lord gave us as a nation. You know what I'm saying? That Christ is the king of every Israelite man. Because why? The pasture, the flock of his pasture are men. That's who he puts in charge. And of those men, Christ is the head of all Israelite men. You understand? And man is the head of the woman. We should not be putting a woman out in front of anything. Why? Because man is the head of the woman. She should be either behind or at our side. You understand? Not, helping in the way that the Lord wants her to help. But having her to be out in the forefront to deal with these issues and problems, that's not her job. And what? And God is the head of Christ. That's the order of the Lord. All right, no sweat. Any more questions?
Colonel Khan, sir. Sister said the water, sir. Next question, Salakia.
The water, please, Salakia.
Find the question right there. Okay, yeah. Next question, sir, is the water, sir. My second question is, if I may, what does Christ mean when he says, love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy in Matthew 5:43, while in 5 and 44, he says to love our enemies?
Okay, let's read that. A lot of times, our people will look at this and think Christ was they'll think Christ was soft. Like he's saying that, basically to love the people that abuse you. Like basically a white man. That's how Christians use this. Coons like Officer Tatum, you know what I'm saying, that want to defend the white man. You understand? But that's not what this is talking about. You know what I mean? Give me 1 second. I need to find this. And I'm going to show you through this scripture that Christ was talking about. The enemies that Christ is talking about is the Bloods and the Crips, the BDs and the GDs. You know what I'm saying? The Norteñas and the Serenos. He's talking about the enemies amongst ourselves of our people. And the proof of it is this. When we talk about white supremacy, right? We point out white supremacy. We point out our actual enemy. What does our enemy tell us? What about black on black crime? Ain't that what they say? We say, man, the white man is the devil and he's killing our people. Y'all killing yourselves. What is he saying? You saying I'm your enemy, but y'all enemies to each other. He's the accuser of the brethren. You understand? Hold on. Let me get this real quick. So this is not talking about us loving white people. All right. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna have the priest read it. Give me put in the chamber Exodus 23 and 4, and we're gonna read the verse first, and then we're gonna go there, and then also need if your enemy be hungry, that too.
Colonel Khan, sir, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse.
We'll read what she read what she got first.
Colonel Khan. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 43. Ye have heard that it hath been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. Verse 40.
Hey, hold on. Let's get me in Leviticus. What is that? Thou shalt not bear any grudge in thy heart. I don't know if that's Leviticus 19. And I need that too, to break down who the neighbor is and who the enemy is, to show that this is not talking about a race outside of our people. Preach, you got that? It's Leviticus what?
Leviticus 19 and 18.
You hold that. So now read what you got from Matthew one more time.
Colonel Concert is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 43. Ye have heard that it hath been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. Verse 44. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, and do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you.
Right. Despitefully use you and persecute you, right? Now, it's easy to say, well, white people, you're saying white people use us and persecute us. Yeah, they do. But so do we. Give me an example about how blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians despitefully use each other. Somebody give me an example.
So, like you said, how blacks and Latinos
and Native Indians persecute each other and despitefully use each other. You just give me some examples of present day how that work.
I mean, just in the sense of how, like
in the chat too. If y'all in the chat, y'all can put some answers in too. How do blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians to each other? How do we despitefully use each other and persecute each other? Go ahead, Khan. Salakia, please.
No, Salaki, I was going to say, just like how blacks go to war against blacks and we unalive each other, and it's the same thing with the Hispanics. We think that we two different people. You know what I'm saying? So what we do, we live in the same neighborhoods, live in the same communities, but we look at each other, you know what I'm saying, as enemies.
Yeah, that's a fact. Give them a hand. That's a fact. And so right now, like, okay,
sir, if I could,
yeah, go
Somebody
ahead.
said in the chat, working for ICE.
Who was that? Give him a hand. Good night,
Sister Kapa.
Yeah, sis, that was perfect. You got blacks and Hispanics in ICE arresting their own people and getting them deported. And see, the reason why that example is so important is because we don't understand the climate and the culture of what was going on in the time of Christ in living in Judea under Rome. You had a class of people called tax collectors and publicans. You understand? Who, because they were under the rule of another nation, they would use the oppression of their oppressors, and they would despitefully use and persecute their own people. The same thing that we're going through right now. If you're a whoremonger, like Sauce Walker, a pimp. Now I think he be pimping out white women. I don't know if he pimp out black women. He pimping out everybody. Okay, well, because I only see him with the white baby mama and all that kind of stuff. So that man, okay. I thought he was just trying to do the white women. It's still wicked either way. But you got pimps out here, you know what I'm saying? But Bishop Don Juan and this whole pimp culture in our community that is what's the word? It's exalted. I don't want to use no fancy ass word. Pimps are looked at and admired, right? And what did the Lord say? He said, you should not prostitute the daughters of Israel, lest the whole land fall into whoredom. That's how you're despitefully using and persecuting our people. You're taking our daughters who are supposed to bear our children from the fourth dimension and bring back the sons and daughters of God, and you got them out there whoring in the streets. So for what? So you can ride good, smoke good, eat good, and get an iced out grill. You're an enemy. You understand? We praying that the Lord would convict your spirit about how you're living and hurting your own people. If you're a drug dealer, you want to make sure that your family got something for Christmas, right? That that your kids got money for college. So you selling bricks and drugs, and because you selling these bricks and drugs wholesale, you're not out there doing peace work. You selling it to our brothers, and what do? They go out there and getting robbed for the drugs they selling. So brothers is out there kicking in doors. They giving drugs to our people. They overdosing, right? Or they pimping out their daughter for some money to be able to buy the drugs. You're despitefully using and persecuting our people. You join the police force. Go ahead, priest.
I was going to say, sir. So an example would be like Officer Tatum. So like it, sir.
Yeah, he's despitefully using and abusing our people, making us, basically he's letting the wolves in. He's saying, no, let the wolves in. They're not trying to harm us. Racism wasn't about them disenfranchising us. I sat there and watched this brother dealing with him on one of them, like what was it, them 1v20s or whatever. And the brother was breaking down the papal bulls. Papal bulls were documents that the Catholic Church or the Pope wrote authorizing or saying it was God's will for blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians to be put in slavery because we didn't worship Christ or God, that we were savages. And it gave them the right to put us in slavery because we weren't Christians, supposedly. And while the brother is going over reading it, Tatum say, well, no, I don't think that was disenfranchised black people. I mean, I'm sure it happened. Like, just a bot. You understand? This is all dealing with the nation of Israel. Now, give me Leviticus 19, and you got that, Kahanga Bar? Let me get that. Leviticus 19 and what? 19 and 18. Okay, go ahead and pull that up to show you what Christ was referencing the law of Moses when he said, "You have heard it said, you are to love your neighbor and hate thine enemy." Go ahead and read this. Go ahead, Khan.
Khan, the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
So now what he just read is read again slow, Kahanga Bar.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 18.
Y'all should be writing this down so whenever you get confronted and you have a Christian say to you, but the Bible says to love your enemies, you can show what the law said and what Christ was quoting. Read again, Ike.
Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
The children of thy people, meaning that your race, your family, your tribes. You're not supposed to bear a grudge. When we out there with that Crippin' Blood, GD and BD and Vice Lord, we're bearing grudges against each other and we're taking each other's lives. The Lord's saying not to do that. We're not to do that. The children of thy people, read.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
So the context for neighbor in Leviticus 19 and 18 is the children of thy people. Because you live in this multicultural society, right? This so-called melting pot where ain't nothing melted, right? You think the neighbor is anybody that's living next to your house. That was not the context of neighbor according to our culture. Our neighbor was the children of our people. Listen, if you gotta understand, each of the 12 tribes had their own territories. Ephraim had their own territory. Gad had their own territory. Zebulun had their own territory. And within Zebulun, you had how you say Zebulunites? How to say it? Golly. You know what I'm saying? And within Naphtali, you had all the tribes of Naphtali living within Naphtali. But think about this. We were neighbors to each other by tribe. Because we were our territories were next to each other, so we were neighbors, and within our territory, we were neighbors amongst ourselves. So the Lord is saying, if you within Zebulun, be kind to your neighbor. If Zebulun borders Gad, be kind to the Gadites. It wasn't that it was like other nations living within our territories like that. He was talking about us as a nation, as a people. You understand that we're to love our neighbors as ourselves. This was layered out, man. You understand? If you was a Judite living in Judah, have love for your Judite brother. You understand? But then if you was a Judite and an Ephraimite was you were on the border of Ephraim and you saw an Ephraimite, have love for your Ephraimite brother, for the Puerto Rican. We weren't to vex each other. That's what he's talking about. And I'm gonna show you that the enemy that he's talking about is an Israelite as well. Go ahead, Exodus 23.
Concert is the book of Exodus, chapter 23 and verse 4. If thou meet thine enemy's ox or his ass going astray, thou shalt surely bring it back to him.
What he's talking about is that our enemies were within our own nation. People that we had grievances with. People that we had problems with. The law right here was saying that if you meet your enemy's ox, meaning that you got a problem with an Israelite, y'all are at odds. Y'all are enemies. And you see his ox going, or his ass, his donkey going astray, it says you shall surely bring it back to him again. Meaning that if you see a nigga you got beef with, and you see his car unlocked, or someone trying to break into his car, hey bro, someone's trying to get into your car, man. It's still your vehicle. That's what he's saying. You got beef with him, but you're not gonna let none of his property go missing. The enemy he's talking about here in Exodus ain't talking about no foreigner, no stranger. It's talking about our people. Our enemies were within our own nation. Our neighbors were within our own nation. And by the time we got to this time of Christ in Judea under the rule of Rome, we loved our true enemy and we hated our own people. So Christ was trying to do what Commander Johnny is doing right now in Isupk in 2026 in America. We love the white man. We don't hate the white man. We love him. Why? Because we feel like our future is tied to his. And in order to serve the white man, you have to do what? Hate your own people. You got to say, yeah, man, being rich is a curse. No, being poor is a curse. Being poor is a disease. Why? Because you identify with the rich. When you watch these podcasts and these videos and these little shorts, what are they always saying? 10 rules that billionaires use and how they live. These are the secrets of the rich. What are they baiting you with? They're saying if you want to be with us, you got to be like this and think like this. When really they're just selling you, they're selling you some bullshit. It's funny to me how what Rothschild ever gave you a breakdown on how they get rich. These are people that are poor trying to get rich by selling you the secrets of the rich. When the rich don't give up their secrets. You understand? Ain't no Rothschild or no Rockefeller ever gave a breakdown on how they maintain their billionaire status through each generation. So now all of a sudden, some nigga on TikTok or some sister on Instagram is gonna give you the power to get rich. It's the pyramid scheme never stopped. It never stopped. That's why America was spiritually called Egypt. It's just pyramid schemes. What's it? MLM, multi-level marketing. That's all it is. That's all it is. And that's not going to fix our problems. You understand? But they bait you with the idea of getting wealthy and getting rich. When really, what Christ say, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. The treasure and the wealth is each other. It's the brotherhood. See, I don't have to worry about getting money, getting a job. Let me tell you something right now. That's a brother sitting in this school right now. For the last 4 or 5 years, every job I done had is because a brother put me onto that mud. So when I wasn't working, the brother was like, "Hey, I can get with this right here. You can do this." So even though I didn't have it, he had it. He was the resource. He was the wealth. It's another brother sitting right in here in this school, who has access to certain things for people to be able to get their retirement together. Their retirement checks and what's owed to them from the government. Because he sits in the seat to be able to help with that. You understand? The resources is each other. It's the brotherhood. Because if I don't have it, he has it. I might not even have a car, but my brother does. So I ain't gotta walk. I might be homeless, but my brother has a house. He'll set up a room for me, until I get situated. We're the resource, the people. It's not the money. It's not the position. The position that you're in only matters if you're using it for the benefit of your people. That's why Mordecai told Esther, he said, you think because you're in the king's house, you're going to escape God's punishment? He'll just raise somebody else up and put them in a position, and salvation will come from somebody else. If you're trying to attain a position in life, if you're not using that position that you're in to help your people, it don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing, and you're going to lose it. Because Christ says, to him who has, more shall be given. But to him who has not, even that which he has shall be taken away. It's like what Kat was saying in Sunday's class. If the salt has lost its savor, what's it good for? You're just dirt. You're only good to be cast out and trampled under the foot of men. If you're not living your life for the sake of your people, then your life is nothing. It means nothing. The Lord can't use you. What do we do in our household if we have a cup, a plate, dishware, silverware, a tool that we can't use? What do we do with it? We throw it away. Or we sell it off. We get rid of it. Give me that Romans 9:4. If you're an Israelite, if you're a so-called Black, Latino, Native Indian, your only purpose in existence is to serve God. You have no other purpose. And if you're pursuing an ambition outside of that, it's worthless. Go ahead and read that.
Colonel Concert is the book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 4. Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of God. And
he says, the Israelites to whom pertaineth the adoption, us, Christ dying, us being able to come back to the Most High and be his children again. And then what did it say after that? Because we're his children, it's the giving of the law, right? And because we've received the law, that means that we're the only ones that can do what? Serve God, the service of God. You can't serve God without the law. You can't serve God without brotherhood, because in the law is brotherhood. Keep reading.
Colonel Wakan. And the promises. Verse 5. Whose are the fathers, and whom as concerning the flesh Christ came.
Right. Christ only came for the Israelites. When it says as whom concerning the flesh Christ came as an Israelite, and he died for the Israelites. You know what I'm saying? That salvation is for Israel. That right there, of whom concerning, according to the flesh, Christ came. Ain't no spiritual Israelite. This whole book is about you. Imagine that you're born, your family is in poverty, and you find out there's a will that gives you access to trillions of dollars. Once you want to study it, niggas go to prison and study the law. They up in the law library trying to figure out how to get out of prison. That's what the Bible is for us. The Bible says that Christ went and preached to the spirits that were in prison. He went and preached to his people because why? We was in prison. In prison, what was our imprisonment? That we broke God's laws and now we're serving other nations. You go to prison to go to the law library when the law is in your grandma's on your grandma's table in the living room. Study that law to get free. Give me that. What is that? John 8, whom the Son sets free? Give me that. Actually, give me where they said we be Abraham's seed. Read from that point. Is there any more questions?
Concert is another question.
Okay. Let's go ahead and get that and then we'll.
Colonel Concert. It's like you.
Is it 8 or 7?
Might be. I think it's 7. So like you.
Go up. It's probably 7.
Concert. This is the book of John, chapter 7. There you go.
Down, down, down. Going down, down, baby. Up. I should know this.
Yes.
No. Dang it. Is that it? Go down. Now go down. Dang. Who's gonna type it in? We be Abraham.
Colonel.
It's my fault. Y'all bear with me. What's the next question? It's John 8:33. So I think it starts at like 8:32 or 8:31 maybe.
Colonel Concert is a book of. This is a book of John, chapter 8.
You there?
No,
You was already there.
8 and verse 32.
31, let me see what's 31 say. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Go ahead. Start 31.
Come, sir. Then said Jesus to the Jews which believed on him, if ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed.
Right. To continue in his word means to take everything that he's saying. Some people believe like, yeah, we the Israelites. Jesus Christ was black. But then when we say you can't marry no white woman, now you got a problem. Or when we tell sisters, like, listen, a man can have more than one wife. He's not cheating on you by getting another woman. I can't do that. You stop at that point. You don't continue in the word. You know what I'm saying? Because our records have a lot of things in there that are contrary and counter against this society. So in order to be Christ's disciple, you have to continue in all of what he's saying, not some of it. Keep going.
Come, verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Right. When you know the whole truth, it makes you free. I was telling brothers this. I think I said it in class too, where we be at camp, right? Camp is a military operation where we go and teach, you know what I'm saying, and prophesy in the streets. You know what I'm saying? To the public. And when we're at camp and we're teaching and doing the work of the Lord, people walk by and say, why you out here, doing this? Why don't you go get a job? But in the truth, we call a job a slave. So really what they're saying is why are you out here speaking like this? Why don't you just go and be a slave? That's your position in this society. Why are you out here speaking against the government and speaking against the powers? Because we're free men. A slave couldn't speak. When you look at the laws in Jim Crow, you had to say yes, sir, and how you couldn't look a white man in his eyes. Even if a white boy was 5 years old, you had to say master or yes, sir to him. Give him the respect of a grown man. They had laughing barrels. You put your head in a barrel to laugh because they didn't want to be disturbed with your happiness. When white people see black people having a good time, their faces get disfigured. They look at you like, you see them, right? Because they know what the society used to be. That we had to subdue who we were as a people, our emotions as humans, because it made them feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? So when they see us saying the white man's the devil and Donald Trump is a felon and a sexual deviant, the president of the United States, and we're saying it without no fear, what you're looking at is free men. Why? Because we received the whole truth. Right. Keep reading.
Come, sir. Verse 33. They answer him, we be Abraham's seed, and we were never in bondage to any man.
That's what some coons say right now, like Officer Tatum. A lot of black people say, I ain't no slave. Ain't nobody ever hit me with no whip. But they did it to your grandmother, your great grandmother, your great grandfather. They did it to them. You not them. They're not your family. Listen, if one white man hit my grandmother with a whip one time, I got beef with your whole family. Well, I should let it go. For what? Y'all didn't let 9/11 go. You didn't let Pearl Harbor go. Why should we let it go? But that's just showing you that we had the same mentality back in the time of Christ. We're Abraham's seed. We was never in bondage. Let me ask you a question. Were the children of Abraham ever in bondage to anybody? That's what Egypt was. That's what Passover was about. The Lord delivering us from slavery. And it goes to show you the Stockholm syndrome that you had Romans who had a white man as the king of Judea, Herod. It's like how we took Barack Obama, as if he was black when he was an African. Barack Obama was King Herod. Ain't do nothing for us. But he's being called our leader. And then King Herod answered to who? To Pontius Pilate. The same way Barack Obama answered to all them white people he was related to. I think he was related to like the Prince of England or something like that. You know what I'm saying? According to the bloodline or whatnot. Herod answered to Pilate. Pilate dictated what was going on in Israel, in Judea. And they're living under this society saying we were never in bondage to any man. The same way black folks say today, I wasn't a slave. I'm doing good. I'm eating good, living good. I got a good job. I'm good. What you complaining about? Christ knew we wasn't free. He said, if you got the truth, then you can be free. These is black people. It's niggas. And we know that too. Acts 13:1. Certain priests and prophets, right? Who were called what? Niger. Black. This is how you know this is a black condition. Keep reading.
Colonel Wakan, sir. How sayest thou, ye shall be made free? Verse 30.
How you gonna make us free? I'm in America. America's the best country in the world. Go anywhere else and live then. Why don't you leave then if you ain't free here? How you gonna make us free, Christ? That's what they tell us. Well, I ain't no slave. You got to pay taxes. You're not free. You paying taxes, you paying tribute, you're not free. And I'll show you where Christ said it. Keep reading.
Colonel Wakan. Jesus said, answer them, verily, verily, I say unto you, whosoever committeth sin is a servant of sin.
Meaning that if you violate God's law, now you become a slave to that. You become a slave to your lust. You a slave to smoking weed. You a slave to drinking lean. You a slave to eating pork. You a slave to wanting to be with white women. You know, Christopher Tatum's wife is a white woman. That's why he fights so hard, because he don't want to let that white box go. Which, you know, I don't see what the deal is about white women. It's just, you know, they look like undercooked meat. It's just nasty. And they stink. They smell like dogs and all that. They don't take showers. They confess that and tell you. Yeah, I shower like once a week. A wash rag for what? I let the water just fall over me. And sometimes I get in the shower, I don't use soap. I just let the water fall on me, and that's it. Then I get out. Y'all know when we was kids, they get out the pool smelling like dogs. Y'all know that. We'd be on the bus like, ugh, smell like dogs on here. Y'all remember being kids in school? They was checking their hair for lice, not ours. What they say, because your hair produces natural oils that repels the lice. Y'all know that? He told Rebecca, it's 2 nations in thy womb. 2 manner of people. The one should be different from the other. One shall be stronger than the other. Come on, man. I just seen today. I should send you the video. It's his sister, man. I saw her found on Instagram. She probably like a teenager. Like maybe she about to hit like 18, 19. She doing like that high school wrestling. Tearing them white girls up, man. It was almost kind of like messed up. I should send you the video though. Let me do that. I want to play that. Even our women are just X-Men, superheroes. Black, Hispanic, Latino women, y'all just, you know, and you produce these children that are just, you know, like Goku and Goten. They just Super Saiyans. Let me get this real quick. My Instagram app. I'm gonna take the time to play the video. You know what I'm saying? Show you what the Lord is talking about. It just is what it is. Hold on, let me see. Where we at? I know I had to save it. I liked it. Let me see. Or did I just follow her? Oh, is that only on Facebook? Well, I know I followed her. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Come on, man. Tell me I did. I'm about to make it a habit, bro. Just have to like it. It's all good. Well, I followed her, but the girl was tearing these little white girls up, man. It was bad. I was like, golly. And, you know, it just was obvious. Like, this is too much. Anyways, let me go ahead and get the next question.
Sister Ash, what does the star, hold on. What does the star represent in Matthew 2:9?
Okay, let's get it.
Colonel McCunn, sir, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 2 and verse 9. When they had heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them till it came and stood over where the young child was.
What's before that? Read the verse before it.
Verse 8. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, Go and search diligently for the young child, and when he had found him, bring me word again, what that I may come and worship him also.
Okay, this is we're talking about Christ. When Christ was born, Herod was trying to find Christ. Go to the beginning of the chapter. Let's see what's going on, and then give me Genesis 1 and where it talks about how he made the
For light.
Yeah, exactly. The water.
Exactly. Colonel Wakan, sir, you want the Genesis right now?
Nah, give me the beginning of the chapter first.
Colonel Wakan, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 2 and verse 1. Now, when Yahushua was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem.
Right. So you had wise men from the east. These were men that knew the times pretty much. And you're gonna let it speak for itself. Go ahead.
Verse 2, saying, Where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east and are come to worship him.
Right. So they're saying we've seen his star in the east, meaning that they analyzed the constellations. So I don't mean like astrology, like that zodiac nonsense. I'm talking about astronomy. You understand? Like knowing like where stars are located and whatnot. And the reason being why I said when it said that they were wise men is because the Lord had certain things set up. You know, when it talks about how Adam ate from the tree of life, these were talking about the constellations. That Adam was able to look at the constellations, certain constellations, and it was the Lord communicating to him on how to order things on the earth. So when you hear that phrase, on earth as it is in heaven, that's what that's talking about. Adam had gained wisdom from how the Lord set up certain constellations on how to organize things on the earth. All right. You got that in Genesis?
Colonel Wakan, sir.
All right.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 14. And God said, Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs,
right,
and for seasons, and for days, and for years.
Right. So Christ coming, it was not just written in our records like the prophecies through the prophets, it was also written in the stars. But like I said, not like astrology, like what they be talking about, like the house of Leo and all that garbage. It ain't like that. It was a particular star that these wise men, because they studied the constellations, knew that this was the time for Christ to be born, the king of the Jews. You understand? So when they saw that star, it just was like they just knew already. And really what it was the Lord, Herod was trying to get with them wise men to kill Christ. When you read Revelations 12, and it talks about the dragon trying to consume the man-child that the woman would give birth to, it's a manifold vision, because that red dragon was Herod. Herod was an Edomite, and he was trying to consume Christ, because why? Esau lost the birthright for rulership, and he's been trying to fight to get it and keep it. You understand? So when you got Herod and Christ, it's like Esau and Jacob. You know what I'm saying? He knows that with Christ being supposed to be king, he got to get rid of him, or he loses his seat. You understand? So, in fact, give me that so they can know what I'm talking about. Revelations 12, when it talks about the woman and then the dragon. Because what Herod ended up doing is the angel tells when the wise men go and find Christ and they offer him frankincense, myrrh, right? That's what we burn up in here. You know what I'm saying? In the censers is frank and myrrh. You understand? It's the smell. It's the smell that the Lord loves. And they offered him gold. You know what I'm saying? They paid tribute to him, right? And once they got done doing that, giving their gifts, the angel told them, "Yo, don't go back to Herod. Go back home." And then when Herod found out, he got mad and sent out that I think from every son from 3 and up or 3 and under was to be slaughtered. And that was a prophecy because it said Rachel is weeping and mourning for her children. Right? Rachel was one of the mothers, one of the wives of Jacob that gave birth, you know what I'm saying, to Benjamin and Joseph. You know what I'm saying? And but more or less saying that Rachel representing like the mother of a mother of the Israelites, he went and slaughtered all those boys. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it meant when the dragon was trying to eat the man child. It was Herod trying to take out Christ, and he slaughtered. But in the midst of that, a whole bunch of Israelite boys got slaughtered. You know what I'm saying? You got that?
You said Revelation 12, right?
Yeah, that's it. Go ahead.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 12 and verse 1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
I'm not going to go to it right now, but I could. Joseph was the son of Rachel. Joseph had a vision when he was a kid. He had a dream where it was 12 stars, a sun and the moon. And when he told the dream to his father checked him for the dream. Jacob could interpret dreams. Jacob had dreams and visions. And Joseph said, I had a dream where it was 11 stars in the sun and the moon, and they all bowed down to my star. So Jacob checks him and is like, what you mean? What you trying to say? That me and your mom and your 11 older brothers is going to bow down to you? Right? So he automatically knew that the sun represented the father, the moon represented the mother, and the 11 stars represented his other brothers. So when you see this right here, when it says it was a woman clothed with the sun, it's talking about Israel, the nation of Israel, right? And the sun represents the knowledge, and the moon represents the wisdom. You understand? It's the light that either removes darkness or the light that gives you understanding in darkness, right? So the sun was behind her head and the moon under her feet. This is talking about the nation of Israel. And this is what it said when he read earlier in Deuteronomy 4 and 6, that the laws, statutes, and commandments will be your wisdom before the nations, meaning that you will be a light unto the nations. This is what this is talking about. Keep reading.
So verse 2. And she being with child cried, travailing in birth and pain to be delivered.
Now, this is manifold because this is talking about the nation of Israel trying to birth the spirit of Christ, right? Because all of us are supposed to operate in the spirit of Christ. But it's also talking about the nation giving birth to Christ, our Messiah, right? Through Joseph and Mary having sex and having him, Joseph being from the tribe of Judah, and being Joseph was supposed to have the throne. You understand? But he had Christ, and Christ was supposed to sit on the throne of his father David. You understand? So this is a manifold vision and prophecy, right? So this is talking about travailing in birth. They're trying to bring Christ being born into this world. But at the time, who is the nation that's over us? Rome. And Rome is representing the red dragon. You understand? So Christ is born at a time when Rome is ruling over Judea, and they're the beast. All right? And Herod is the Edomite that is trying to take Christ out. Keep reading.
Verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his head.
This represents all the Edomite nations that formed this beast. Red because they're all Edomites. Esau was born red. He came out red. You understand? This is representing our oppressor, the white man, and all his different nations. You know what I'm saying? I think we went over this like a couple of weeks ago. Drop down to where it says that he tried to consume the child. Yeah, that's it. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And his tail drew a third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was...
Salakia, this tail that drew a third part of the stars of heaven, it's about the stars that was on her crown. The third is talking about Benjamin, Judah, and Levi. At this time, they were under the rule of Rome. You understand? And cast them to the earth, meaning that before Rome was over them, they had a period of time outside of the Greek act. Well, they had a time pretty much where under Cyrus, where the temple was rebuilt, Nehemiah and Ezra went down and did the work and restored Jerusalem to where the temple was rebuilt, and we were operating in our power as a nation. You know what I'm saying? But then came the Greek captivity where we lost it again, and then Rome took over after Greece. So at this point, Greek is the dragon as well. The Grecians are the dragon, and so is Rome. They took Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and cast them down to the earth. Because why? We were the only ones remaining because the other 10 tribes had already been sent off from Assyria and went into to Asareth. So we were the only ones left in the land. So we got basically kicked out of our heaven, even though we were still in the land, because now the dragon is ruling over us in heaven, which is meaning rulership. Okay, keep reading.
Colonel Wakan, sir. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born.
Herod was trying to kill Christ as soon as he was born. But this is also talking about white supremacy and our enemies right now trying to kill the spirit of Christ in us, to kill the spirit of brotherhood. You know, the Bible says that, you know, a man can't serve two masters, for either he's going to love the one and hate the other. You understand? You can't serve God and love white people. You can't serve blacks, Hispanics, and Latinos and Native Indians and try to you know, love white people, because you're going to either love the one and hate the other. Either you're going to love Christ and hate the image of white Christ, says Ray Borgia. Either you're going to love blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians and want to serve them and hate our enemy or hate our oppressor, or you're going to love the oppressor and end up hating your own people. That's what Officer Tatum, that's his condition. Because he loves white people, he has to go against us. So your love is like it's the most important thing. Where your heart is at, where your love is at, where your mind is at. It's the most important thing that you can give. And you got to be very careful about where you put it. You can't split it down the middle. Like in Vegas, they'll say you can bet on red and black. Not in this truth. It's either you betting on black or you with red. You know what I mean? And Christ is black. And the white man is the devil. He red. He the devil. Red devil. Okay, that's it. Any more questions? I hope I answered your question, whoever that was, about the star. The star was just for signs. It was for signs and for seasons. And that was the season and the time for Christ to be born. And that star signified that. The wise man was able to understand that because they studied the constellations, not astrology, astronomy, and they knew that. You understand? Same way how you know, Adam knew how to read the constellations and organize the garden in terms of his rulership over the earth.
Colonel Wakan, sir, we got a statement. Sister says, speaking of astronomy, well, I don't know if it's this or not. Speaking of astronomy, tomorrow all the planets are going to be lined up. A meteor shower and solar eclipse. So I've read.
That's cool. You know what I'm saying? You know, give me Jeremiah 10. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something right now. The stars you should be looking at is like, you know, Command General Yohana, General Mahiman, General Mayak, General Sharamar, General Q, General Haas, you know, General Kathungabar, Salaki to the Alawapim if I did it in the wrong order. Them the stars you should be looking at right now. You know what I'm saying? The prophets of God that are speaking the word. That's you shouldn't be looking for meteor showers and stars and solar eclipses. You should be looking for the men of God prophesying out in these corners, telling you to come back to your power. We're the stars. Give me that. We'll shine like stars. Is that Daniel? Yeah, Daniel 12th chapter. Let me get that. But give me that Jeremiah 10 too, though. Give me Daniel and 12 and Jeremiah 10. We the stars you should be listening to. You know what I'm saying? The men who have the wisdom, which is the what? The word of God, the truth of God. Yeah, it's 12 at the end. Go up. Let me see. Is that it? I don't know. I seen it. Hold on. Like stars in the firmament. I know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, con, sir.
Is it there?
Yeah, con, sir.
Go up verse above it. What it say? What 2 say? Oh yeah. What verse 1 say?
Con, sir. Let me see.
Oh no, that's cool. Just give me 2 and 3. But
Con,
read Jeremiah first though, then we'll get to that.
Con, sir. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10 and verse
2.
Verse 2.
Yeah, you got it. Oh, you have to pull it up.
Yeah, Con. Thus said the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
I think it was last year. What year was that when everybody came out to Austin to watch, like, it was some type of event of a planetary alignment? And when we was talking to some brothers about that, they had put in reservations to come watch this event 2 years ago. Mad white people, mad heathens, black people too. But Jeremiah is prophesying, 3,000 years ago, saying, learn not the way of the heathen. They're caught up in it because you know why? They don't know what's about to come upon the earth. I think it's saying Revelations, they're seeing like the different signs in the sky, and they're in fear about what's to come upon the earth. Well, we can tell you what's going to come upon the earth. World War III, nuclear destruction, the return of Christ and the angels, which you want to call, UFOs and UAPs and all this other stuff. We know already. See, when they talk about World War III and Iran launching missiles, we're not afraid. We get excited because we know what's happening. Why? Because we're the prophets of God. We have the wisdom of God. We know what's coming. So we're not scared. If you're scared and confused, it's because you ain't coming to class. You ain't coming to learn what the Lord has already said is going to happen. We know. The Lord ain't going to do anything without revealing it to his prophets. And how is it revealed unto us? In the prophecies. You just can't pick the Bible up and understand it and read it. You wouldn't pick up no book on heart surgery tomorrow. I could do heart surgeries now. But all of a sudden, the Bible, the most important record on the earth, you could just grab it and read it and think you understand it. For God so loved the world, he loved everybody. Okay. No sweat. No sweat. Keep reading, Salaki.
Sir. Learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them.
Right, the heathen are dismayed. Like, man, what's going on? What's happening? We not. But who you should be paying attention to is the stars of God. The stars of God. And that's who the white man is trying to raise his throne above, is the stars of God. You can give me that too, but go to that Daniel.
Colonel Wakan, sir.
Who can't hear?
Well, I should say it.
You can't hear who? You can't hear ABR? Kahan Gabar, speaking to the mic.
Testing.
Yawa Ash, can you hear Kahan Gabar? Who can't you hear? All right, y'all put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear ABR. Go ahead, ABR.
Colonel Wakan, sir.
I need y'all to move quickly on that. Put a 1 in the chat so we can continue on with the class. We only got like 15 more minutes. Okay, they saying they got sound. Yawa Ash, I don't know. It could be because of where you located at. You is off in the promised land. You know what I'm saying? You off in the sweet by and by on that good land. It's good land, but poor reception. Shout out to Priest and Officer Yawash, man. You know what I'm saying? Mighty man is truth, man.
He said he can hear now.
Yeah, okay. Because I ain't gonna listen, when we was talking earlier, you was going in and out. Okay? All right.
Colonel Wakan, sir, this is the book of Daniel, chapter 12 and verse 2. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame, and some to everlasting contempt.
This is heavy, man. This is, really, I ain't gonna lie, Kahangabar, IBR, you could use this for Adam in the dust. You dig what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth, meaning that in that low state, that they're asleep, because we raising the dead, we waking them up. You dig what I'm saying? Some are going to awake to everlasting life, meaning what? They're going to hear the truth and they're going to change their lives. And some to everlasting shame and contempt. Why? Because they refuse to hear the truth. But that dust, awaken the dust, I would pair that with Adam. You know what I mean? If you want to use that. But if you could, keep going.
Colonel Wakan, sir. Verse 3. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that It's like, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever.
You see that? They that be wise are going to shine as the brightness of the firmament. The firmament is what you would call space where the stars are located at, right? You know what I mean? The heaven of the heavens, all right? Or the, you know what I mean, like the waters between the waters, right? And they that turn what? Many to righteousness. What does that mean? The teachers. What did Christ say? Those that do and teach, right? As the stars forever. Those are the stars that you should be looking for and watching for, not all this celestial activity. Because them wise men came and offered stuff to Christ. They wasn't his disciples. You know, there's a wisdom, you know, the Bible says that, you know, that the children of this generation are wiser than than the children of light. There's a wisdom that you can have that's in this world. But it ain't that's why the Lord didn't give this truth to the prudent, to the wise. He gave it to the babes, to the children. Meaning what? People that can, no matter what they've learned in their life, they can dump all of it and become kids again and learn all over again, be born again. If you're born again, you're starting off as an infant, as a child. You have to learn how to what? Walk again. Learn how to talk again, right? Learn how to think again. That's what being a child is relearning, having to learn everything. That's why Nicodemus, he was a carnal nigga. He was like, be born again. Can a man go back into his mother's womb? Christ's like, nigga, goddamn, you a leader of Israel. You don't understand what I'm saying to you? Right? The Lord didn't give this to the wise and the prudent. He gave it to niggas, street niggas, and, you know, thugs. You know, the poor. That's what we gave it to. Go ahead, IBR, man. Swordsman.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3 and verse 19. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness.
Right. That's why when people come with the exegesis and the eisegesis and, you know, talking about the anthropomorphic and all that stuff. Yeah, if I use these 3 multisyllabic words on these Negroes, we're going to baffle them and confound them. You can't confound us because we're with God and God is with us. You understand? We don't need all your manuals. We got Emmanuel. We got the Spirit of Christ, man. You know, God is with us. He ain't with y'all. You know what I mean? That's why, you know, God logic is really God stop it. Gadawan is finna be a massacre, man. Captain Tazariak, Captain Katazan Gadawan, it's finna be over with. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? What it say in the Psalms? A body thou hast prepared for me. The Lord has prepared a body for Gadawan. A sacrifice unto the Lord in front of the whole world. You know, God logic is like he's just like the hype of the Christian world right now amongst the youth. And, you know, but the Lord has sent Gadawan, you know what I mean, to go and make a sacrifice. Straight up. Let me get, was there any more questions?
Oh, concert, yeah, it was one more.
Okay, cool.
Concert, sister said, it says, so I got another question. Baba Kashai, Matthew 1:1, why does it call Christ the son of Abraham, the son of David?
Ooh-wee. It's an excellent question. It's an excellent question.
Colonel Concert, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 1 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
The book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David.
Hold on real quick. The book of the generation. What that mean? Sis. What that mean? The book of the generation. You don't know? It's okay. I'm just asking. Because you be knowing. She be knowing. She be answering some questions. What that mean, Kahanga Bar? The book of the generation. What that mean?
It just means all the generations, you know what I'm saying, through, you know, which Yahweh Shai lived through. So
yeah,
like, you know,
give me more, though.
You know,
he right there. He right there, though. He said it, though.
You know, when he was Adam, you know what I'm saying? When he was...
yeah. But yeah, that's it.
Solomon,
basically, the book of the generations is what Kahanga Bar is saying is it's the record of Christ's generations. That's why we use the term regeneration, because we don't just live in one generation. That's why it says the book of the generation of Jesus Christ, because we don't just live in one generation. This one right here in particular It's talking about when he regenerated in this particular generation. And then it's going to show you what other generations that he lived in. Go ahead.
Colonel Wakan, sir. The book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham.
When we tell you that Christ, you know, like Hangabar said, when he was Adam, you understand? When he was these different people, we're not just making things up. And it's telling you right here in the first verse. It says he's the what? The son of who?
The son of David.
Who was the son of David? In the chat. We got like 5 minutes left. In the chat, I want to say, who was the son of David? Well, sis, it was the historical book of Christ's generations. That's why I said the book of the generation of Jesus Christ. It's in this particular record, it's him specifically. You understand? To sis. I think that's Siri, my sister Siri.
Come on, sir. Somebody answered in the chat.
Solomon, exactly.
Yeah.
Kapah, Solomon. That's a fact. And then who was the son of Abraham? My nigga Lahab. That's right, Solomon.
He says, is this a good precept to cut Trinitarian because God don't have a generation?
Ooh, we. But you know how they do.
Yeah, right.
Yo, they gonna come up with something. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, Yawash, the hewer, the killer came out of your generation. You know what I'm saying? He was in your loins, man.
Lahab,
To come and kill this doctrine.
like Sir Lahab said, Isaac, sir.
That's a fact, Isaac. So it's letting you know that Christ was Solomon and he was Isaac. And like Kahangabar said, he was Adam. And you can read that. I think that's in 1 Corinthians, was that 15, about the first, the last Adam and the first Adam. It's talking about Christ, but it's calling him the last Adam. You understand? And also he made an appearance as Melchizedek. So Christ was Adam. He made an appearance as Melchizedek. He was Isaac. He was Solomon, and then Christ. You understand? So that's why it's saying he's the son of David and the son of Abraham. You know what I'm saying? Because the spirit that is in Christ, he was also in Adam. He was also made the appearance as Melchizedek. He was also Isaac, Solomon, and then Christ. So that's the reason why it's saying that. It's letting you know that who Christ was before. You understand? Yeah. If y'all want that verse for the first and last Adam, you want to get that real quick, just to let y'all so y'all can know that.
Colonel Concert is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter.
Because that's all this is. This whole story is about the Lord giving back what Adam lost. You know what I'm saying? God wanted Adam's family to rule. And Adam lost it, and then Christ's whole job was to redeem and get it back. The whole reason why the Lord gave that promise to Abraham was sending Abraham back into the land that belonged to Adam in the first place. Who occupied that land? The Canaanites. Why? Because when Adam lost power, they came in and took over. You can read that in Ezekiel 31. You know what I'm saying? Everybody who occupied the land that the Lord told Moses to go out and get rid of them, they act as if Moses and the Israelites were colonizers. Nah, we weren't colonizers. We had to evict the squatters. The Lord was telling Moses and the Israelites to evict the squatters because the Garden of Eden was the capital of Eden. Eden was earth. The Garden of Eden was like what DC is to America. And that was the ground from which Adam ruled, the capital. You understand? It was the most, the Fertile Crescent. It was the most enriched in what's the word, Kahangabar? Like a word for when the land is very good. I don't know. It was the best part of the earth. It was the best land. You know what I'm saying? And that's why he set up Adam there, because from there it was fed by 4 rivers. You didn't have to like have rain. It was already irrigated, and that's when he organized, farming and all that, and people came to him because it's almost like when people move to a city because they have good jobs there, they all kind of went to that direction because he gave instruction to all these other families on how to do things. You understand? And he had the constellations as the source of his knowledge, the wisdom of God to organize things. But then, he listened to his rib, he listened to his wife, and she got fascinated with, with Polite and Nature Boy and the black woman is God, and he submitted to that nonsense because he didn't want to lose his woman. He was weak behind a woman, tender dick. That's what they call it, right? Being tender over a woman, and he gave it all up. You understand? And so the Lord he evicted him out of the land. That's why it says when the angels left their first estate, they ain't talking about no angels in heaven. It's talking about the Israelites, the messengers of God. They left their first estate, and what happened? We were out the land, and the Lord brought Abraham back. Said, "Look, I'm gonna go to a land that I'm gonna show you." Because why? The promise is tied to the land, and He wanted His people to rule it. He didn't want these heathens ruling it, and they were in the land doing wickedness. Same way that the so-called Israelis are over in the land right now, with the gay parade in Tel Arad and all that. Tel Aviv with the gay parade, sodomites out there in our holy land doing wickedness. The Lord said, "I'm getting them up out of there for their evil. They don't belong there." You dig? It's the same story. So that's what we fighting for right now, man. Kanai and I, shout out to Kanai and I, my sister Kanai and I. Give her a hand. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I hope I see you in class tomorrow, sis. You know what I'm saying? Baron and everybody. All right. Yeah, Cap is going to be teaching class here tomorrow, the law class. You know what I'm saying? If you in Killeen, Temple, Waco, whatever, pull up. You know what I'm saying? If you in Gatesville, Coppers Cove, come pull up to class. You understand? Cap is going to teach another amazing class. And I think we're going to have some food. You coming tomorrow, brother? Yeah, come on, man. Come on, man. You pull up, man. Gahan, you coming tomorrow? Oh, okay. We are coming tomorrow, too. I mean, this for a little bit, brother. A little bit, man. But I think we having a boil tomorrow, too, man. If I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? I think someone's going to bring a boil tomorrow. So, anyways, y'all come. You know what I'm saying? Get fed with the scriptures and everything. I think we're going to close it off there, if there ain't no more questions. Oh yeah. Go ahead and read this last one, and then we're going to go ahead and move around.
Sir, this is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15 and verse 45. And so it is written, the first man, Adam, was made a living soul.
Right. Adam was made a living soul when he was given the breath of life, which is the law. Okay. Mm-hmm.
It's like it. The last Adam was made a quickening spirit.
Right. The last Adam, talking about Christ. You know what I'm saying? Because they were the same person. Meaning not same person, but meaning that the spirit that was in Adam was in Christ. And Christ was made a quickening spirit. What does that mean? That Adam was given the life, but he wasn't able to give that life that he was given to others. Because what happened? Cain and Abel, Abel got it, had the spirit, but Cain didn't. Now with Christ is able to give that spirit to others. Meaning what? When we take on the spirit of Christ, we can raise other people from the dead as well. That's what quickening means. It means a life-giving spirit. To be able to give life, to be able to teach what? The spirit of Christ. We're able to give that to our brothers and sisters, man, in the truth. But you can only get that here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Command General Yohana. It's the only authorized acronym. All these other groups, they're not in the truth. And it always comes to light. You understand? If you want a safe place to learn how to serve God, it's in the ISUPK under Command General Yohana. All right? And with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass the class over to Officer Kahan Gabar for the security announcements. Give him a hand.
This is the ICBK security announcements. We are the ICBK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3 and 10. Salakia, Malachi 3, 8 through 10 means 10th in the Hebrew, Ma'ashera, 10% of every increase, of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher, priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you like. Upcoming holy convocations. We have the memorial of the blowing of the trumpets. First day of the 7th month, Friday, September 11th, 2026, Leviticus 23, 24, and 26. Remind Akim and Akwaf to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. That will conclude the ISBK security announcement.
All right, with that, Amijim, which means to stand. I'm going to give a courtesy salute, men of Israel. Amijim Shabbat, Amijim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem, Yahshua Barakatah, Yazmatah, Sar, turn, face the sisters, men of Israel. Amijim Shabbat, Amijim, Barak, Yahweh Shemar Latham Ba'Hashem Yahushua. Yazmatah, class dismissed.
They give 30% to a pastor that bought just a brand new luxury car and molested their kids. So,
Wait, 30?
They gonna get a damn pastor, whatever you ask for.
Fuck the 10, they go 30? God damn.
Here in Israelite schools, we learn practical knowledge. We just do what the Bible say, 10%. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
That's it,
You know
brother.
what I'm saying?
See, look, all y'all out there, y'all need to go ahead and put all that away. I know y'all giving y'all money to the drug man, to that pimp of a pastor you got, but the world's about to end, and you're going to see Christ very soon. Are you going to be up there and standing in front of him saying, yeah, I gave all my money to this fake pastor, even though I seen all the evil he did? Or you going to give your money to some righteous men of the Lord? Pay your tithes to the ISUPK, and then sleep soundly at night knowing that maybe the thief ain't going to take you.
Damn right.